Welcome to Onivia Highlights. These are the best highlights from the LPL 2025 Split 2.
To be fair, this split, they've done an okay job of recovering from an awful position.
So LP felt like he was just like, well, you know, he was safe hands for a while. 50-50 on bot side, level 4 to level 3. Wink's in trouble, he doesn't have that flash. This is a dead Nautilus.
Yeah, Wink going to not get that much damage back. It's actually on with the pop is going to get some value, but what about everybody else? They'll go 1 for 1 in the grand scheme of things. Armed with the 4 shot will tag rather. LP. Will be a question, won't it? 50 in the pit. Wink also around. Maybe forced to Redstein out. Of course not, he goes straight on in. 5 will decide to use the W flash away, but still going to get jumped on by Angel, who's really looking for this. Can't quite get the kill, looking for the reset. There's a heal from the second part of the Darking Dagger. Jordan now going on in with the Shattering Strike and gets a kill for Haichao. While EDG on the retreat on out, there's a Realm Warp for more people coming on in. They try to deny it, and ended up Jorg going the only one who goes forward into it. Tries to get the crash down, does so, and there's the Hound's Pursuit. They get the kill on the Nautilus, and EDG way overchased trying to get the kill.
Massive overplay. EDG get themselves forward, but LNG, they're not answering with objectives on the other side, even in gold, so we're not going to get a huge objective there. Hex Flash over the wall from Wing, gets a hook.
Depth charge comes on through, 50-50, just gets eviscerated. Nice work, Angel with the charm onto Zucker, but won't find too much more. Misses the cannon, it's all over.
Oh, wow, that's the real important thing here. 50-50 dies to deny the 6th grub, but you have still given up success. Well, even before that, you know, the Durnby era. LNG have had some good times, you know, Durnby and Arla, of course, in 2020, I want to say, going from play-ins and then making a decent run of it. Yeah, I mean, LNG is one of our greater organizations than the LPL, and they have a lot of long-term plans for various players that should. You do have some ability to grow up a little bit. 6-5 grubs doing well here. Trading part from Zucker on the other side of the map. Will take this turret unanswered. But I mean, EDG feel like, look, we have Herald, we can keep walking up here. 5 grubs making it very easy to cross map. This investor isn't going to kill turrets that quickly, so it's going to be a 2-for-1 turret trade on the map.
There goes the Herald charge in. On the
not
other side. Ooh, Winky Xiao Hao. Now looking for an angle. 50-50 on a control ward. Doesn't get spotted. The wind became lightning. Struck nearby.
And just kind of ping-ponging waves in mid lane. LNG maybe a little afraid to approach this one. Zucker pushing out that bot side now, but if he shows, that gives EDG a chance to make a play elsewhere.
Angel on a flank angle here, looking to see whether someone oversteps. Down to half HP is the Dragon. Zucker now looking for that flank of vision. There is that far side rushing to spot him out in a second. Big root though means Jordan dies. Bullet time. It's pretty mediocre, all things said and done. The room present to Wink, getting down to half. Now the Crescent Guard down as LP needs to flash on out, but immediately gets Spirit Rushed across Zucker. That flank led to nothing. Another couple kills over to EDG. They pick up the Dragon. Curtains are called. Realm Warp to try and get to safety. Will get the rest of LNG out, but the damage is already well and truly done.
Yeah, and
LNG's chance of statistical modeling, and I think I agree. They are in a much better position right now. They've got a lot of people very much online. We've got a bonus Oblivion Orb for this Ari as Wing. Gonna get jumped on with the Hound's Pursuit. This is very deep, but they've actually got themselves a 4v3. But here comes the rest of EDG.
What are you
TP
doing?
in as EDG looking for an angle. Could look to throw down an equalizer. Goes golden to buy some time. Will be able to flash out if required. There's the equalizer onto LP's caught the red carpet. Her misfortune is very misfortunate indeed.
Why is this the fight which LNG choose to take? I don't understand it. Joao, who couldn't get that a big engage around the last objective, can't do it now. Maybe they were angling to get a couple of kills and go into the after-calm, but it was so ill-advised. They go too far, can't kill off the targets. Killing off a Shinzao in a situation like that is always a bit of a fool's hope. And EDG will get themselves towards an after-calm and hopefully try and clear out this mid-wave. We'll see if they're successful in doing it. I know the tower might just fall.
Yeah, there's a gold looking for a charm. The minions are actually going to kill the tower regardless. So EDG burned a few summoners there to try and defend the turret. Don't quite do it. They will still get the Atacard though, so it's not actually all that much of an opportunity cost. It's all frustrating.
Dragon's up now. Third Dragon of the game. Infinity Edge completes for LP, so he's in a good spot on the Misfortune for the actual raw damage. That being said, great damage coming in from both the carry and EDG now, because they have 2 items core for both these champions done.
Dragon is taken. And again, we are on track for a very late soul if we get there. Not convinced we will. We will try. As Baron now started by LNG, who are within touching distance of the goal. They will have Pursuit on in, but 50-50 then dragged a long way towards the other members of EDG, trying to land these curtain ball shots. Don't quite find it, but 50-50 have to try and flash away. Burning down, Wimp becomes lightning into an audacious charge, secures the kill onto the Neferi. Not dredge line. The deadly flourish into the dredge line ensures Haichao dies as well, and suddenly your mid jungle is gone. ZDZ's cleared mid, and you can just look at Baron. Flash on forward from Zerka to start Drake instead of going to ZDZ. You still got the Zonya.
He still has flash.
And flash. He just gets to walk away.
So Zerka flashes
Ambrose should be able to bring this one down with some burn, at least a little. And LNG, real contest available, right, without their mid or jungle. Baron over, stacks over for the side of Angel on this Ahri. He's in a very good spot himself. Nearly got a death cap done for the Rumble. It's all looking pretty good here. Zucker, hiding off vision. Same with 50-50 pretending to be Raptors. Once more. Angel. Be too much threat, but towards the tier 2 we go bot side. No one from LNG going to come stop this. That's a tier 2 granted to EDG. Still want this mid tier 1. Got Arn in trouble the last time. Resetting on group for 50-50. Angel looking for just wide on LP, who gets to strut away. Mid tier 1 has to be the consideration. There's a bullet time available. There's the curtain call. EDC looking for an equalizer 2 across 3 people. Nice angle. LP's in danger. Flash Zonya's flame spitter ensures the misfortune dies in swift order. Nice work from EDG to pull the trigger and ensure that the bot lane falls to pieces. LNG backing away, 2 members down, mid lane tier 2 goes down, flash charm onto another member. At least it's a repudiation shield. Sorry, it's just Haichao. So it's a Seraph shield, but it means nothing. Tier 3 now gone in the blink of an eye. Every mid turret falls, the inhibitor just after, and EDG explode the gold lead. How much further can they go? There is Texas Towers in their eyes, and 2 members dead for at least another 10 seconds. They can look to claim at least 1 Nexus turret. Need to step on forward. Not that many ults to work with for LNG. Struggling to find a moment to pull the trigger. 4 seconds on LP, who's got the bullet time. They'll take another third to half of the HP. As a player that has been in a rough place in terms of the teams he's been on, relative to his level of flex. I actually think Angel's been quietly quite good for a few years. I think he's slumped a little bit.
Take this tower to make sure that their gold keeps ticking over in terms of their advantage. They have a ridiculous amount of items now, and LNG has just felt itself. EDG, I mean, credit to them, playing a lower risk style. They only really need to be aware of the Rel, who does walk up. Towers taken in mid lane. EDG, I think, getting this for a bit free for the Cax Zerka.
Zerka's gone, doesn't reset properly now. Angel looking for an angle, finds LP, may need to be ulting away, waits for 50-50 to go in with the house pursuit. Flash on forward for the smoke and look to eviscerate forwards. Angel stays alive though. Arn now coming over to defend his mid laner as the bot and mid jungle rather of LNG need to just try and find a way out, but they're running towards the wrong side. The barrier means so little at this point. LP is giving free LP to the side of EDG.
It wouldn't surprise me if there's a double teleport towards the top side. They have 5 grubs. Is this end of the game? Not sure. Haichao decided to go towards mid lane instead. I think there is a chance they lose Nexus turrets off this.
They've only got 1 remaining.
Draw has a flash, maybe to defend something. I think EDG might end the game here.
Got one of the Nexus turrets just respawned as we speak about it. That's at least something. But the other one's on half HP. Need to try and defend this if they can. It's dead. Going towards that final Nexus turret as it's beginning to respawn. It's not going to be on a huge amount of HP. Jaw goes crashing down. Doesn't find that much value. Deadly flourish. Roots him in place. He is dead. Zucker now respawning. How long until the rest come on in Haichao? Very low HP. Will audacious charge forwards. Will die. 1,000 gold shutdown. They've overplayed it. Trying to get onto the Nexus. ZDC auto attacking best he can. Going to get the Rel Warp over. Just about to find minions.
Game ends. EDG finish it as LNG struggle to pull the trigger. Losing lane in a lot of ways versus the Kalista and the Rata, of course, which is so dominant in that laning phase. LNG, better go buttons this time. Zerka has 1. He takes this one away. Basically, earliest possible opportunity for EDG. Important thing, of course, for them is that they get to keep the Corki away from the Kalista. Camille, I suppose, being hidden from the Gnar matchup in the early levels too. That means it's not the biggest thing ever. And Shake goes onto ZDZ, needs to be a little bit careful here. Drops out of vision, slow lands onto Kalista, takes a decent amount of damage. mean, this is an R on the weak side of the map. With that amount of HP, ZDZ might have to go recall and figure out something after.
Paul gets a grass proc onto 50-50, but now towards Mini. Okay enough.
Now Zucker's going to look to try and wave clear out, get as much XP as possible. Nar can teleport onto A side of the map, is resetting now, gets himself to steel cap. Zucker, how much has he got? Doesn't get himself towards level 6 just now. Does have a decent amount of HP.
He's not miles off 6 if he can get to the wave, will still just die here. Tries to play it out, the adaptive defense is not enough and just gets blown up. Wink picks it up with the Ignite.
Well played for EDG to just allow the Shield of Daybreak to start the CC chain, meaning that there was no flash. Didn't blow it the last time. With ult as well.
Here we go.
If you walk up like this, I think you've got to be careful. I think you've got to call this off right now.
Turn around instead onto the Skarner, who's going to flash away, but over comes On, looking for an angle. Had a bad time into Skarner the last time we saw it, but it won't happen this time. And Xiaoho picks the kill on the Skarner. The counting
seed maybe just didn't have that on cooldown. If he's walking up without a CC there, not really sure why he's walking up at all, but still, get away with that flash. Not going towards the dragon. A little bit disappointed in EDG for giving up such easy sets, but I guess against the Callisto and Arthur, we did say don't want to overplay things. Playing it safe, and LNG will get themselves. They won't use it up towards here, they'll use the demolish. What's happening on the other side of the map? Hai Chao will be pushing that tower. Do we get a split screen for this? Who's killing it? Doesn't have the Nash's Tooth, even with the 4 corrupt, so he won't take that first. EDG get themselves defeats of strength. Herald now available.
Don't want to get in too much order, but I think there will be some like stuff for both teams to review, because I think,
well, yes, obviously, especially when it's getting that close.
Yeah.
Herald summoned in mid lane. EDG. I mean, it's a chunk. They won't be able to stop this going all the way through. Hey, that's there's no wave in mid to push with that. There's a wave lost in bot side.
I think it was a double stack wave. I think.
I mean, Wink, buddy, you don't have ult now. Oh, come on, Wink.
You're gonna die for this.
Yes, he will.
There's the hostile takeover.
Oh, for God's sake,
That was a bit poor. Angel now potentially in danger as Callisto was hopping towards him aggressively.
LNG going to be late towards this one. This is just gonna go, and hang on, we're gonna get dragged by. Nope, goes away. 3 dragons, soul point for EDG.
In graveyards.
Oh, they can blow bubbles around themselves when they're underwater. That's awesome. That's so cool. I didn't even know that. Very cool.
Hang on, invade. That's gonna find the Camille, and the juggle's got deleted. Oh my God, On.
I mean, that champion's just been completely deleted. LNG can maybe get themselves mid lane turret in response. Teleport coming in. I think LNG might even oversave to go if this Solar Flare comes forward.
It's only onto Renata, will have a Fate's Call to keep her alive, and that's why they don't overforce onto it, but it will force that Fate's Call and out of the mid lane wave. All the while, look where ZDZ is. He's on tier 2.
There might be a shuffle up here. No, there isn't. But LNG are now behind the map. You can tell that they're a step behind in this dance. They get caught out on the top side. They're a little late towards mid lane, which means they're a little late towards top side, which now means they're late towards mid lane again. EDG just a little quicker, a little more coordinated, and this is the sign of a team with substitutes. Draw gets burst and dies.
Also, On is on fire. That was absolutely brutal stuff. That is 2, 3.
Yeah, I go crazy too, Sam. It's already a close run thing on a lot of days anyway.
On at this point is going to be very problematic, I feel. Because the Callista in an okay-ish spot. Angel misses the Grim Visage, is now in danger. Flash and Pelmis with a Huxtech ultimatum still comes on through. Turnaround coming on board with Zucker, who flashes out to safety. The hostile takeover is going to be well Locket shielded. Now 50-50 and Zucker very low. ZDZ on a flank, no Meganar. We can do a lot of just base damage. And a QW from downtown ensures that the Severing Bolt severs the life force of the Skarner, who cannot breathe underground.
No, they can't. This is a miscoordinated LNG. The team fight is just not what they need. They missed the Impale. This needs to be a very coordinated team, and it just hasn't been what they needed. EDG, particularly in good order.
Got a blast code to try and get in here. Half HP, but not found the angle as yet. In goes 50-50. Smite fight begins. EDZ looking to Meganar. Someone draw, but it's timed out here with the wall. Oh! Stolen by 50-50. Soul denied. Hostile takeover. Catches a couple, but they won't find that much. It's a spiraling despair on the other side. Chunks out the bot lane of LNG. Severing bolt onto LP is a bit more. In the end of the day, EDG go into the pit and don't come out with Dragon. Nice steal.
50-50 gets his first LPL. 50-50 wins the smite. I think Xiaohao wanted to do something different in his head. He wanted ahead. Angel wants to wave clear through this now. Doesn't end up using his crushing maw to get that extra kind of damage onto the wave just there. Mid lane turret still goes. Was Hai Chao lucky to get away with that one? And what the hell was that, Wink?
Oh, tried to read Hai Chao. Misses both abilities, and Wink
showing their own inaccuracies through this. 50-50 going through the wall. That'll be a clean tower take.
saw Han resetting there.
Ocean and Black Cleaver instead of full crit later, and you get so much HP, you just jump at people. Zucker left alone on the side.
Mega.
I don't know if he makes it out of this one. He has Flash, but there's too many people on the side of the map.
Oh no, that's a failed Flash. Zucker still got Flash, still got Hextech Ultimatum. Flash is the soul flare.
Oh, they're going towards Baron on the other side. Hang on. We've got a Baron started up on the other side. LNG said, look, Zucker will take long enough to die that we get something out of this. Zucker might even go for the 1v1 onto Nut. EDG, they're floundering a bit now. They need to go towards this. Baron just taken by LNG. EDG failed to pick onto the kill. They don't even kill Zucker. What the hell are you doing, EDG?
This is EDG desperately trying to build back towards it, but they've got spear stacking. This won't be an even fight. They need to go in and try and play for this. If they get the withdrawals over, I think it's just going to be over.
EDG are going towards the Dragon. Instead, that's going to be the ultimate from Renata. Zucker goes in onto Angel.
Gets a decent chunk onto the back of that Camille, who will taken out surely by the Spiraling Despair. Does so 50-50, now in danger. The shuffle is absolutely whipped. Backside for ZDZ.
Oh,
all of the withdrawals are gone. That's so...
They get the outer car, they get the Baron against the runner player, they completely run into the Dragon. Use their withdrawals. I don't know about that. I don't know.
Have we seen a good Impales game?
No, we've seen one onto Wink, I think. Baron Buff's still up and available, as we were saying before. LNG wanting to push in with that, but they are against the Cloud Soul now, which means EDG get to run at them a lot more easily. Elders, of course, on the table too. We might be going late game, folks. We will see if EDG can get themselves a big fight with this Cloud Soul buff.
And they've got a GA now on this fight. He's going to look to go forward, gets run to the wall into an Impale as we think about it. The Solar Flare is into Narnia. Xiaohao still fine. The Ruby still got the Mega on LP, bailed up. And to what end? He's just dead. Callista does not get to Callista anything. And now Xiaohao goes Vault Breakering forward, and Hightower will blast code him away, saying nope. But they lose the Callista, and they have to break off that Baron shove, which goes to very little in the end.
Yeah, it's less than 1,000 gold, I think, in terms of the overall tower play. Zucker now has 3 items. Draw needs to be a little bit careful.
Flashes.
Flash away from Wink. Wink is really on the hunt with the move speed.
He's so quick. There's a cease and desist. There is no Callista nearby quite yet, so that'll just be a dead Renata. No way to Fate's call her to safety. You lose your support.
Really dangerous playing again. I would take some killer tomatoes here to end off this game. There's a 2-man on Baron right now. LNG have been denied entry into the pit. This will go down, and EDG, do they look for a fight afterwards, or whether LNG start it first?
Flash for the Impale, but it's only getting under one person. ZDC's kind of fine. He turns around, the hostile takeover hits onto no one. There is no taker of anything, hostile or otherwise.
Hightower
out of the way, just get a massive out shuffle in, and gets on. How does this happen? They've lost it. They can go towards Baron.
No, that's the game. That's the game.
Oh my god.
EDG completely throw the game. Oh god, we're getting 3 games of this.
Just take the Baron. Just let the person die and kill the purple worm.
Are you kidding me?
We're still here. All right, ZDZ, you've got Cloud Soul alongside a GA on your bike. Can you clear the wave? You've got to try shoved into the wall. Doing their best, nearly at Mega Nut. That might buy you some time.
This is the game. This is the game. They have the wave. There's no HP left on the Vise. EDZ has a Mega Nut, but I don't think it's enough.
There's the Mega. They need to clear the wave desperately. In they go to wallop and crash it, shove them away, but the Nexus Star is still going to go down. And LNG, against all reasonable sense, bring us to game 3.
This is going to be Gragas' support. I think he used it for the Q poke and sustain in lane. You have just given Silas a better ult than you, though, because he builds a little bit. Get a mid lane, but not a top laner.
He was playing Syndra top and deleting people. It was
wild.
wild.
One of the best Lucian top players.
4 for this Varus needs to be a bit wary, but that body slam tries the full combo mid lane. Already had the Chaos Storm stolen. And Angel gets out of range of that focused resolve, so there is no stun onto the Victor. Oh, I think I said Steadfast Presence to try and deny the Arcane Shift out.
Which doesn't work.
It doesn't work, yeah. I think I assumed
it never has done.
No, I know. For some reason I thought it did. In the heat of the moment, I thought that would be a thing. Flash away from Arn is now in danger. Gets to safety. No, he doesn't, because the Spectral Maw is not enough to deny the damage, and he goes down. Pantheon around, and with LP and Jorp forcing Wink into an awkward pathing, there's actually a world where this Victor or even this Gragas can get jumped on. 50-50. Finds a blast cone, forces a flash from Wink, who's trying to be in a defensive spot. Will burn that much into Corruption lands, but the Aegis comes on, but just gets blast cone, not blast cone, barrel back into the team. It has a similar effect, I grant you, by virtue of displacement.
It's like grow your own blast cone, Gragas.
gets first item out. Yeah, he gets himself the gold for the Sundered Sky. Very important, of course, first item. Gives you a lot of damage. It's teleporting in. Yep, and now Panty can ult into the play if they want. This is a bit of an awkward set of teleports, though.
Barrel roll forwards. An explosive cast and stuff to work with. Out comes the Harrow Path. ZDZ behind, Grand Starfaller's in, but immediately shut the door.
Oh, great cast.
But the cast denies so much damage. Hydra can't get in anymore. And so they blow up the Pantheon. Wonderful ult from Wink.
That was a great ult from Wink. Wink's cast
With the EDG drafting. Looking at LNG's comp, it's not bad in isolation per se. It's just not that great into the comp they are playing it into.
Yep, that's the ult onto the side, and this is how they need to play.
Grand Starfall comes on in. The gravity field buys some time. Agent Soul is there, but there will be a comment. He misses!
No!
He misses the flash Q and misses the value there. LP, this was a Trinity Force. Can start to do his own damage back to Arn. Lands another Q actually. Has to be a little bit wary to Arn here. There's a two-shot barrage available as well. If that Q had landed, could have been fun.
What's going to come through? He's going to recall anyway on this wave. Has barrier if LP really does start to force the issue. Deal with this Gragas. This Gragas has been the key point of this game so far. LP didn't actually need to cleanse. I don't think. There's a mini stun, I think, just at the end of the Gragas. That's been nerfed for a while, but it does cleanse, so you can get immediately out of that.
Lucky to get away. Slow to cross map.
So, Angel, really good spot for him. He's just been allowed to do whatever the hell he wants for the last part of the side lane game. It's 50-50, failed that kill onto him. Safety formed up. Getting towards the Leandries. I think as soon as you get the Leandries on the Victor, I don't see how LNG team fight. You have to insta-kill the Victor. You can't do that through the HP from the Rod and the Leandries. There are 7 stacks on it now, getting a lot of HP, close to getting the max out on it. Good sword stun to the wall.
The knock-up from that Keeper's Verdict. Wick looking for the cast back. Does it? Herald secured, now 50-50. Nowhere to go. No real vote to try and ult out either. Body stolen, kill secured for the Viego, and that's the 3rd kill of the game for EDG. They already have the feat of strength, having just claimed the Herald. Life is...
His ultimate and his Q have crit scaling, which is very nice. And the Collector gives you lethality, a lot of AD, and armor pen. Oh, there's no big advantage, which means we're probably going to get a slower game. Victor getting pounced on the side lane. Wink is coming to answer. They do have a cast. That might be enough to save him.
Pretty scary, flying forward with that focus and falls on a flash away, and a wonderful cast again. Might be in danger, gets away to safety. Locket shield is good. Drop, depth is really low. Xiaohao stepping on forward, trying to go to LP, who's 1200 of the gold for LNG. He's gone. They get to hop on forward with the Viego in the body of the Fed Ezreal. Ults forward into the Spectral Maw, gets another kill. They get the jungler, they get the bot lane, they'll get Atacon too.
There's your gold lead. EDG pull ahead. They'll get themselves the Atacon.
Thimble wins it, transformed to Poppy now as well. There goes the Herald into mid lane. LNG coming to try and defend this.
There goes my Herald.
Watch him as she charges.
Probably could have just
Yeah.
They're very good at their job. Yeah, they keep fighting those foos. Yeah. The Man Dragon's going to go down. EDG will claim that one. Get up to soul points.
Angel in a bit of an interesting position. Is it a 1v4?
Has a GA from the Atacon.
Yeah, has to
Battle Victor.
Can start to battle Victor. Haichao steals the ult. In comes Zucker with the TP. Angel survives, gets a heal to get some move speed. Gets to pick up the honey fruit as well. He's back to being okay.
Battle Victor, baby. Angel walks forwards, struts forward down, and Saz just doesn't win that fight.
Has 5 stacks to the Dark Seal to boot, so he's even got even more HP. That's a teleportable time.
Doesn't have flash.
Grand Starfall comes on in. On actually pretty low here. Cask actually puts Zucker in a good position to potentially go all out. Wink now flashing over, and they do end up getting punished. The split happens for once. Turnaround beginning to come on through for EDG, but they've lost their AD carry. 14 seconds into Drake, that would have been sold for them, and Arn's just dead.
EDG with another misstep in the late game. That's very, very important. The team not paying attention to that Pantheon. We called this out earlier. Take the mid lane out of turret. You can do these long dive plays. Angel doesn't have a Void Staff, has used his Chaos Storm already, so I think that was actually a mistake there too. Not really having the damage to work with that. Has the Rift Maker, but needs the extra shred now because he's not going to get through the tank of Zerka. Dragon's going to go up to LNG, and EDG, they slip a little bit. I think it's time to go for another late game, man. Come on, EDG, you are in such a commanding position again.
Composition, we like this one. They're over towards the other side of the map saying, cool, well, we lost that. Haichao getting run up. That's actually a lot of damage from Angel, my days.
Yeah, he has a really good slow burn build, right? Gets the left Rift Maker and the Leandries up for that. ZDZ is going to pop the ult wing, forcing Arcane Shift out of LP. Teleport in from Victor. No Chaos Storm.
In a potentially awkward position. The Pathmaker doesn't get a shot on the Angel, gets a lot of speed from the Siphon. Power cast flashes from LP. gets to stay out alive, but is forced to burn the flash.
The engage from EDG hard to land. They don't have a great hard engaged champion. The Gragas needs to hit the Krask in the right way. Zucker dashes forward. They feel like they can take this. They do. Zucker's going to 1v4.
There's the Grand Star fall, but that's now 50-50 in the backline, shunted into a wall. On, very low, gets a barrier shield, stays alive, but they still lose Poppy. LNG in the late game are beginning to turn online. Angel's in danger. Ult away from Shao, keeps him alive, and the Q lands. LP, a sniper on the Ezreal.
I cannot believe EDG baited us into believing that. Where's your Void Staff at this time, Stan? Where's your extra burn damage from going for something like a Blackfire instead, or the extra damage? This Victor needs to be carrying, and he's just simply not.
Baron take, now the tier 2's under threat. EDG's ability to defend looking a lot more limited all of a sudden. 50-50, sure, off to one side with LP. Throwing out some Essence Fluxes. Of course, do work on towers, so Ezreal eventually gets to the point where he does take towers a lot faster than he does in the early to mid stages, and that 3.5 items will certainly hit if he gets the opportunity.
Depends to what's it. Well, I guess to a significant figure, it is only one, isn't it?
Yeah.
But then, actually, the thing is, you don't round up on something that's not completed, Sam. God damn it. Industry standard's got to be up there.
Goal that EDG once had, a lot harder to come by. Hi, Chow.
Pantheon.
Long going to try and turn this one around. There's a gravity field coming on down with the stolen Chaos Storm. Does a fair amount of damage. Aegis comes on down. Redemption now off as Angel steps forward himself. Begins to glide with the Arcane Storm coming on at 50-50 down to half HP. Zucker now in a 1v5. Interrupted, shoved into the wall. Maybe forced to flash. Not quite yet. Still very damn tanky.
He doesn't take damage.
We're going to cast him back. Will finally be forced to flash and does go down. Oh my god, that Viego ult absolutely deleted him. The execute comes on in. Stolen body of Cassante allows 2 to die. Baron is up and finally Xiaohao gets a big aggressive ult.
EDG and LNG, hang on, we've got to teleport into the base. Baron's being sorted, but I think EDG have to peel off of it now, maybe. Another wave? No.
Tank builds, ways to survive until you can steal a body. Not this one. This one's all about the poppers. Dragon spawning.
Yeah, dragon spawning in 10 seconds. Viego has flash and so much damage. I think Xiaohao can actually flash one-shot someone, so watch out for that. LNG needs to be very careful. Do you have the Pantheon ult available to open up another angle in the fight? But Wink with flash can close that off with a flash body slam.
Dragon started. Zucker on a flank doesn't have the flash. Chow looking for an angle himself. This Silas at level 18 could be pretty threatening in and of his own right. Throw down a chain lash onto Xiaohao. Dragon still just being toyed with. No one really doing significant damage to it yet.
Will be silent Mountain Soul for either team. Big victory for the team to get this. Now I guess we're going for the 50-50. See if the guy with the name can do get himself a smite from that Poppy ult. This is...
Oh, Dragon secured though by Xiaohao. Regardless, Soul secured. Zucker dead again to the Viego, and LNG cannot find the Dragon they so desperately needed. Barrel roll onto Joe will slow him down. The Karma late game just disappears.
Pantheon ults to clear a wave. Haichao gets another one. LNG, as soon as they lose that dragon, realize, okay, we have to get the hell out of here. Zucker dies for free. 50-50. Will probably end up dying for his sin sip. Flashed and ulted to get away from that play. He's going to clear another wave. Haichao's going towards top lane now. LNG are on full wave defense mode. Get those monkeys and towers. Balloons are heading towards your base. EDG take the dragon. They'll take themselves a huge amount of kills with it too. But they have no waves.
Chow and 50-50 do the Lord's work in terms of managing those waves. Get every single wave
He's
shoved.
going to find similar issues to what Angel had before, who now has himself as Zonya's. Didn't even finish up the full death cap.
Jack
Voice
showed
staff.
gun for Virus as well. Oh my days, there's just so much tankiness at this point. LNG, a moment in the sun might well have ended. Thought they might be back in it. Inhibitors down, even with all the waves cleared. They can't stop the shove, even without the Baron.
It's been a slow set of games today. Both teams tentative, inaccurate. You can feel the tension. It is very important to get a win here. LNG had so many good options in this game. But EUG looked like they've clawed things through the Dragons. Xiaohao's Viego.
Maker comes on down. Hail of arrows into
Right
the
cask.
cask, and that means that Zucker's in. Sorry, 50-50, I apologize, in danger, but does get a good Aegis assault. Bit of a shield keeps him alive though, so they can't quite secure everything they're looking for.
The waves on the other parts of the map, well, there's super minions going into mid lane, which LNG will have to answer at some point. And the problem with this Mountain Soul is, one, makes you sure your turret does less damage, and you have the shield to tank an extra turret shot, or two, if you want to walk up for a skill shot. of your own or an extra auto attack on tower. 3 grubs, of course, not going to be the most tower to destroying potential, but it'll definitely help to a degree. Shout out around the fringes. Himself flash. That's a lot of damage for 50. Has that sweeper. Spot out people in rotation, but can't really do much right now.
Chain interruption did land, but there's a locket shield, so Arn doesn't actually take all that much damage in the grand scheme of things. Zucker gets a 3-man and Tofo strike, but to what end? LP under the arcade storm is just melting, and that means that Angel now really will do a lot of damage. Gets to go golden, keep the storm running. Hightower also goes golden. Angel looking for a Siphon Power Shield, gets another kill with the Hex Tech Raid. That will be it. Edward Gaming claw their way to victory against LNG. It is anything but clean. But victory is victory. Edward Gaming, 1-9.
Welcome to Onivia Highlights. These are the best highlights from the LPL 2025 Split 2.
Eventually, the Gnar can really struggle versus the Gwen. Tian spotted going across the river, wrapped us into the other side. Kanavi doing a full clear. Ghost popped early by 369. Is he going to get the level 2 level up? No, not quite. Oh, that's close as hell. I think 369 just dies here. Breathe, flashes forwards, and 369 dies for first blood. Breathe on his Gnar. Locked it into it easily. Q3. If you miss your Q as Vi, yeah, don't really do much damage, do you? Xiaohu walking up has the rune prison, and those runes, which took so much damage off earlier, help Xiaohu set up for a kill for Tien onto Cream. Xiaohu hung as a bot lane duo. I guess Jack, Love, and Chris, very, very strong in the 2v2, but Light, very proficient at that. Ooh, Kanavi going forwards. Doesn't have the level 6. Tien doesn't use that doubly. Great flash pull from Hung. Kanavi funds to put into the back line. Charm comes through, but is it going to be enough? Damage starts to come through from both sides. Jackalov has the full lethal tempo, and I don't know whether the cooldowns are there for Weibo. Cream dashes back. 1-for-1, all things said and done. Jungler for mid lane. Charm lands onto Alistair, and a wall stun comes after Jin misses the W, and Chris will make it out fine. Jackalov still has the lethal tempo, and make that a 2-for-1 for top esports. Does the first dragon of the game. Grubs down Dragon Flame for them. Game. Haven't really seen that too much in the current meta. Middlework come through. Xiaohu dipped into the Hallowed Mist to make sure that could come through. And one last Needlework comes through, and in the duration of that CC, Xiaohu is Needlework down another time. Tries to turn around with some extra healing and shielding, but does not work. And now the teleport in from Gnar. Not the best, has to flash out immediately. Breathe. Not able to save his mid laner. Xiaohu misjudges his own tankiness there, I think, and top esports through Kanavi get themselves a great kill onto that Gwen, who didn't have the best laning phase, but is gifted a kill to make up for a bit of that. Doesn't really happen, has it? In the LPL. Breathe goes in, and though he couldn't save his mid laner, can get a play towards the spot side. Use the Demolition Mega Null there. Crisp on top side. Xiaohu no longer has flash. Xiaohu far enough away from the wall this time, but doesn't have a flash and no longer has HP. This rise has been focused on hard. Weibo will trade on the other side of the map. This is not an uncommon thing for Weibo, leaving Xiaohu on the weak side. Taken by Vi, but they can't pick up the Eye. Exactly, you see how the setup worked there. But Herald taken, but not... So Herald finished, but not claimed. So the Eye not going to come through. Now going a little bit too far forward. There is an Alistair ult. Jen fires one of those daggers through. Forced the flash out of Alistair. Didn't want to sit there and use the ult. Breathe. Very strong. Level 11. And Breathe. And have that second tier ult. Of course, all the solo laners are out there now. You can see the stun at the level 12 too. Weibo really putting so much gold into this Gnar. I think they just say, look, Breathe. He's won so many games split pushing on Gnar. This will be our win condition for this game. Rift. Fell point from Rise. Has the Seraph's Rod of Ages and not quite there. Can he get that before the next play comes through? Currently, a lot of XP down on Cream because he doesn't have that Rod of Ages completed while Cream does. 369. There's Rune Prison onto him. Needlework comes through. Shan needs to be a little bit careful because Snavi could be ulting onto the backline. Cream spotted on his own flank as well. Multiple angles come through. That's a pick onto Jackula, but it's not that clean. He ults back, and the W from Poppy saves him from the Neferi. Ult comes through from the Jhin, but I don't know whether that's going to lead to that much. Breed goes forwards, but can't get the ult. The Realm Walk keeps going forwards now, but I think that's just going to get him dead. Xiaohu ults into his own demise. Cream has a reset, gets one last play forwards. The top esports might have lost the dragon, but they do get the kills. Messy fight from Weibo. Not really sure what they wanted to achieve there. 3 for none for top esports in the fight. They'll walk forwards, potentially claim themselves a tower, at least get a chunk onto it. They don't have the Herald to force onto that now, but Weibo couldn't close down any one target. Hung's Alistar engage onto Jaculov. Couldn't connect into the Tien is here. Hung no ultimate. I think this is just going to go before there's a steal coming through, isn't it? Tien trying to get through. Flashes for a smite, but can't get the secure. Now suddenly a GA is there, and top esports want to get themselves a fight. Tien will go down. Jaculov will flash forward and get himself another one on the board, and will start to keep flying. Knavi, does he have an ultimate? No, of course he doesn't. He used that on Tien just beforehand. Weibo, everything falls apart around the dragon. Everything falls apart. Messy fight around that. Light reading in there, Cream. Has the GA. The thing worth that's noting, by the way, if you get the Atakan, you don't lose your stacks. Cream feels emboldened there because the Poppy W is great there. And suddenly Jin is forced out of the fight. He has an ultimate, so he can engage from range. He might try and get some of those withdrawals. Crisp. He's going to get jumped onto. Third shot misses. Fourth shot does too. Crisp. He's safe with his withdrawal for now. No extra damage coming through. Tien not getting a reset on his ultimate, of course, or anything like that, because it doesn't count as a kill with the withdrawal either. So he can't get that reset to jump forward onto Cream. Gwen is split pushing in the side lane while all this is happening. Is there going to be a teleport behind? Yes, there is. 369 spotted on this one. So he takes an inner turret. Flash forward coming through. Cream gets a charm onto the Jin, and Light is snuffed out. 369 chases down Breathe, and remind they still have themselves their withdrawals, so they completely have to go forwards, and Cream gets a triple kill on the Ahri. Weibo have been snowballed on. 7,000 gold lead, mid lane turret soon to fall. Weibo, ever since that dragon fight, have been floundering across the map. Top esports easily picking up the pieces. 19 total, stuck on 10 instead, so he's missing half the stacks that he could have had. Would have been almost, 50 AP. Extra difference there. That's why you should get it early before the fights come through. They don't have that withdrawal now. He's going in for extra damage, and now he's stuck into the plate. They thought they had an opening. Instead, they have just sent Hung to the abattoir. Goes down. Rise stuck in the plate too. Xiaohu's Rise has not lived up to his lofty pedigree. Cream doing some damage over the wall. Of course, he got the kills there as well. Dash in. Lots of HP from Roa and from the Leandries. Can use that Seekers to go untargetable. Going to stasis. Objective bounty claimed by Weibo. Ceresia, is there anything coming through? Ooh, flash forward. He does have the Seekers, remember. Can he get it down in time? Yes, he can. Has no flash. Is it going to be enough? Goes forwards, and the Poppy W is there to save. Cream gets a kill, protects his Magi stacks, and starts to reset. Xiaohu jumped on by Knavi. And Knavi goes down. At least that's one back. Xiaohu has a flash, potentially looking for anything more. Fourth shot comes through, but it's so tanky. The Magi stacks are done. Can they get the cancel onto the realm up? No, they can't, but Weibo might still die for their takedown of the Ahri. Oh, Weibo, what has happened this game? Jaculov, great damage coming through from him. His top esports, they've just been quicker to the play. Weibo, they have not found their team fight. Top esports, much cleaner in the 5v5s. I think Chris Poppy has been utterly superb. The steadfast presences have made all the difference. In every fight, there has been a critical piece of engage stopped from Weibo. Towers falling left, right, and center. 11,000 gold lead. My main champion, believe it or not. Have I said that enough? Should I say that more? I should say that more. Pushing in. 12,000 gold lead for top esports. 4,000 on the Baron power play. Weibo. Yeah. Not really much for them to do, is that? 369 has a teleport. Could join at a moment's notice. Feats of strength help him get some extra stats as well. He has himself the upgraded steel caps. Hung needs to be a little bit careful there. Blocked out by the steadfast presence. Charm lands, and the damage starts to come through. Xiaohu putting some damage back. Teleport coming in from Gwen. Knavi has an ult. Does he want to go for an engage? Going to jump forwards again. Going to get damage down. Jaculov flashes out, wants to save his GA. The ult from Jin, not getting much. No kills, but towers are forfeit here from Weibo. HP bar's low, but not low enough for Weibo to do anything about it. No objectives on the board. Weibo's base broken. Again. Realm War coming through. Okay, go straight in towards that Gwen. Flash forward for another steadfast presence to stop the Alistar from doing anything. This Poppy has been superb. The KDAs are on the carries of top esports, but honestly, my vote goes towards Crisp on the Poppy. Insanely good play from Crisp. Jaculov ends with a triple kill. The carries of Top Esports get the flowers. Cream will flash for wave clear. And Top Esports, in a quick game, under 30 minutes, will put Weibo to rest. 1-0 in the series. We move forwards in our best of 3. Tien knows he's safe to do this, and I think this is great because the way you shut down Top Esports is attack that bot lane early. No cleanse, first blood to the Ezreal. Tien's gonna take aggro. Oh, Tien's made a mistake there though. Made a mistake. Crisp, double kill. That was too far. The first kill was fine, the second was not. 1 for 2. However, he's got ahead in his individual jungle matchup. Go for the Raptor's steal. Has no smite to secure this to Tien. Gets the Swell Seed in there. I'm walking up. Crisp, no flash. Crashes down out of the first bit of CC. Xiaohu's here. Won't get the flick back, but that's still a dead Rel. Easy kill for Weibo as they picked it up for the Talia. Tien walking around the map has done a good job of getting good farm. 369 row flash, remember. Oh, 369's in a bit of trouble now. Going for the love 1v1 though. Has the Conqueror, very strong. Knocks back Breathe to make sure that he can't charge up his Q. It'll be back up now. Flashes in front of the skill shot, and Breathe saves his jungler. Breathe, really critical there that he saves him. Who does well to punt him back. Could have been nasty for To The Skies to land there. Top Esports, do they fight for this? No, it doesn't look like it. Well, they are around. What are they actually achieving here? Tien. Kanavi, fighting over the scuffle. Kanavi needs to be a little bit careful here. Flashes out of the Solar Flare. Yeah, that's what I was worried about. Talia not on the same side of the map though. Xiaohu might need to teleport in. Kanavi, now he's caught out. Gets out of the Silent Q. Does have Impale. There is a Lilia ult to be thrown as well. Kanavi low HP, that should be dead. Realm Warp, not the Realm Warp, the Rel comes in with the ultimate 1-for-1. Lilia down, Misfortune down, but Breed is also low. Where are the res? Where's the damage? 369 needs to get something done. Double shove over the wall from Xiaohu. Great damage coming in from the Talia as it's a clean, well, not a clean wipe, 5-for-1, triple kill for Light.
Blue team double kill.
Weibo threw around the dragon the last time, but they're down a lot of gold now, comparative to where they should be. Cream, spotted out, recalling here. Solar Flare comes down, he doesn't have a flash. In comes the Ezreal ultimate, the Ezreal combo, and the ultimate from the Azir means nothing. The play from Weibo around the map, they get themselves the Herald. This is looking pretty good for Weibo, isn't it? Azir doesn't have ult just yet. 369 trying to get a good bop on Breathe. He still has ult though. That's the best you're going to get from this. Oh, knocks up Kanavi just as he comes in. Well played by Breathe. Crisp and Jackalove on this side now. Cream playing alone on the other side of the map. Again, the best you're going to get is the ult. Uses the ult from the Rel? I think you got a flash in front of him first if you see that, right? Maybe thought he could CC combo him. Not to be. Top Esports really struggling to land good plays here now. 369, yes, going to get a side lane tower, but Cream's going to die on the other side of the map. No tower for him to defend himself besides his own Sun Disc, and that is not nearly enough. Tien picks up the kill against his old mid laner from last year. Tien, long-time player on Top Esports. Going to get some revenge here, of course. Dragon is available. Top Esports have given up control on the bot side of the map. Left Cream to his own misery there. This Azir is not happy. Azir needs to be very far ahead of the Talia to feel good about things. That's a combo from the Leona. I don't know whether that's great. The Pale comes through. Hung still has flash though, and he'll feel okay about that. Chris doesn't have his ult. Bullet time gets nothing done. Talia comes through, and he'll start comboing through. Jackalove has to flash out of the play. Light very nearly goes down, but he still has more HP than Zero. So we'll make it out of that. Dragon goes the way of Weibo. And Top Esports, yeah, this is smelling like a game. Not landing the... I think Crisp has had a bad game. Cream's once again on the weak side of the map. He will die here. Oh, Tien, has he got aggro? No, he doesn't. Xiaohu does, but it doesn't matter. The Sun Disc not enough. Tien, very, very strong now. Did Light pick that up? I didn't even catch that on the kill feed. True shot roll. Nice. Snipe from downtown. Get on the side lane as well. Breathe. Strong as hell, by the way. Yes, there's a Conqueror. Yes,
Jace does nasty things, but he doesn't do that in a 1v2. Steps out of the... dodges everything for now. I still think he's dying, folks. He's definitely dying. Ball. This Slayer comes through. Extra auto attack. Top esports are falling apart. Weibo have been far better on the map. Tien hung on every side lane. Cream not able to farm. Weibo so much quicker on the pulls. Oh, Iron Top is just slow on the map. What do they do? Take the mid turret. Notice that this is going down. Know that they can't go towards it. That'll go down. Do they get a turret? Objective bounties available for them. Cream gonna head over to the other side of the wall. Has the Nash's through. Can they actually... Oh, great catch onto Xiaohu. Is that gonna be enough? Yes, it is. Ezreal ult comes through. Remember, no grubs though. Sion ults too late. Kill, which is a shutdown, and an objective bounty. Turret goes down there, and the turret will recoup some of that gold. No, they just lost in the mid lane. Play here. Breathe. Has that Q to ward off if he wants to. Dragon going down would be Soul Point. Cream hit with that, and he doesn't have a cleanse. Solar Flare used. Not a bad bullet time onto 3, and here comes Rel. Is that enough? I think it is. Weibo, it's another dragon fight going so badly wrong for them. 369 running into Light. Light will claim that the dragon goes to top esports. Where is the damage? Light is still alive, but top esports from the position in the game have done an incredible job to work into that point. A 5,000 damage fight from Cream, setting that up. Resets coming cleanly for top esports. Baron has been started up, but top esports got the reset they needed to spend their gold. That's why they gave up control around this Baron. Xiaohu on the side, positioning for a wall. 369 wants to use his range if he can. Here comes Hung. They're peeling off of this. The Ezreal doesn't really land. And now actually there's a bit of a worry. Double sleep comes through. Cream doesn't have this, but there's no damage coming through. Kanavi gets an impale onto the Talir and gets the flash out. Kanavi might die. Cream trying to go for a shuffle, but just doesn't get the value. Gets something onto Tien. Rel comes in for the extra engage. Where is the damage? Cream is down. Jaculov is alive. 369 is alive too. We said he could deal with the backline, and indeed he does. Gets the flip back onto Light, and oh, it was throwable. It was always throwable. 369 with a quadra kill. Throw a 4 at the end of 369. Top esports walk away with a huge team fight. Zen Blade's down. The sleep's okay. It is onto both. It's onto the Rel and onto the Misfortune, onto both bottomless. Cream completely shreds Breathe. Oof. Animated. Dragon claim from Weibo, but Baron, of course, in the hands of top esports. Cream and 369 on the side lane. Xiaohu needs to be a little bit careful. Yeah, Shock Blast hurt. They really hurt. Navi walking up. Hard for the Ezreal to deal with here, actually. There's some damage down. It's half the HP, but it does take him about, 5-6 seconds to chunk through that. Kanavi always just scuttle away. Cream gets out of the Solar Flare. Hung's cooldown's not been the best used in this game. Baron about to fall off. Not the biggest Baron. Questionable games from time to time. Invictus Gaming, similar story. Kanavi going forwards, gets the ult out of Breathe for just the Ixtal's impact. Trying to make sure that they will get guaranteed priority here on this tower, and Nam thinks that actually, honestly, Waper a little bit out of position. Going to cut off the wave now. Shock Blast lands onto Light. Jaculov walking up. Remember, he has double cleanse. Really hard to force onto him. Kanavi going through the wall, and Tien's a little bit out of position. Hung's also out of position. Light goes back. Hung has the flash walls. You use the impale on him now. No, they wait a little longer because Sion's coming into the play. Now he might now be out of position. We've switched sides of the map, and I really feel like top esports the ones getting the best out of this. Bullet time comes through. Now that one's a bit of a lost combo. Breathe has a teleport. If he can get himself a recall, that changes stuff. Top esports will say, well, okay, we didn't get the best out of that. Maybe we can go towards the dragon instead. Sion will recall. Doesn't have the ultimate. We go onto the dragon. I don't know if we want to be flipping this. Is that really the play? Crisp has a flash. Could go for a big combo. Sion teleporting behind them. Impale comes through. Light has to use everything. And Chris goes in to the backline. Cream, can he get anything done? That's Leona down, but that's just the support. There's no cleanse on the Zero, remember. Uses the Zhonya's and goes into it, but that's damage down. He's where he goes forward. Does get there before he dies. Jaculov alive, and that might be enough. No! Jaculov has gone down. And top esports, they flubbed this fight. Weibo, they've made it to the end of the game. I think they have. They don't get themselves a soul, but I think it'll be enough to walk down into the back side of this. Cream goes into the minefield and kills himself. Top esports fail at the final hurdle. Long death time is 20 seconds on Crisp. Is that enough? Ruinous Atakan, 5 grubs. Could Chris go in and clear the wave? I don't know. I think this is this game. I don't think Chris can solve it. Light has a lot of damage to towers with so much cooldown reduction. His W's onto structures does a lot. Do they believe in the fact that they can do that? Chris is hit by the Ezreal ult. Signal into the towers. It's one of them down. Chris needs to clear the wave somehow. Buy enough time. I think that's it. Light just hops over. The CC doesn't land. And we will be going to a 6-game day. Top esports versus Weibo. Going the distance after one dragon fight in the late game. Pro play. Used to stream it back in, what, 2016 or so. To like 60,000 people. And his community said, hey, if you think it's so good, why don't... Because he's on the strong side of the map. Back into our standard lanes, though. XP, slight advantage for 369, worth noting. Although the wave will be crashing in. Of course, a very terrifying prospect of facing up against him in many a year. Won a game with it earlier in playoffs in Split 1. Kanavi on top side. Renekton Sedrani comes through. Doesn't even need to use the Sedrani ult at first because you can use it to get the double passive proc. Great damage. Breathe goes down for first blood. Great gank by Dragon spawning in 10 seconds. Weibo, I mean, if they can get towards 2 dragons, work towards the Dragon Soul condition. Dragons have kind of won out for the teams, they went out for the teams which play the fights better. Not necessarily always about the team which has all of them, I suppose. It's been a bit secondary. The Soul's not necessarily going in condition. Tien forced onto, has the shield and has himself an ultimate. Doesn't get to use it though. Chaos Dawn comes down. Once again, another clean engage by Kanavi Sejuani. But you know what I mean. He's been prized and is high priority within the LPL. Oh, man. Jackalope farming up here. 3 waves being farmed by Top Esports. You can see that top of your screen. Gold lead. You know, 1 a bit K. We'll take that. Xiaohu, no ult again. 6 grubs will mean the death of this tower. Nautilus ult comes through. And here comes Kanavi. Draven gets the shutdown, gets the cash in. That is huge. Didn't see the amount of gold. It was off screen, but I think this is a slow slip now, turning into a free fall from Weibo. They just can't defend their turrets. They just can't defend their turrets. So, 1.5k cash in then, wasn't it? Holy moly. Jackalope's going to go back and his almost going to fall by an infinity edge or something, isn't he? Jack's counter-strike could have done something for them. Oh, flash forward. Xiaohu does have flash, and the shockwave does land. Has his flash at the cost of Chris. 369. Is he within flash double range? Yes, he is. Cream comes in, and Xiaohu, it's been a bad day at the office for him. Hits the ground. Top Esports have 6 scrubs. Have a Herald, and they'll slam it into that mid lane turret. How many turrets is this going to be? Is this going to be 2 turrets? It's 1 very easily. Immediate charge again. Dodges around this. There's so many mites. There are so many mites. Breeze coming in. Has flash. Half the turret's gone down. Actually, let's make that the whole turret. And it's even more kills. The Shinzo ultimate will not save him. Breathe comes in for a counter-strike. Gets 1 back onto Renekton, but Draven is full HP. 1 for 1 so far, but the turret's making this much better for Top Esports. Breathe didn't really manage to achieve that much. Will be spotted by Kanavi. The gold leads... Of course, feats of strength obviously picked up by Top Esports. Wave clear will come in from Draven. Except it won't, because the door's there. We'll use the shield to make sure that Xiaohu can claim that. And make sure the minions are not claimed by the Draven. Would have one-shot the wave. Maybe caused it another wave to be claimed. 6 scrubs being used on the bot side instead, though. Demolish. 6 scrubs being used for that DOT from both Crisp and Cream. Crispy Cream. Tower destroying and donut making. Kanavi comes in as well. Don't know where he falls into that equation. Another inner turret. 369, happy to play on... Look, even if they dive this, he can just ult and clear the wave. In fact, he should do that right now. That's in fact exactly what he does. Drop wave, goes in with that ult combo. Dominus comes through. Oh my god, that's a lot of damage. Will he get more than this, though? No, he won't. He goes down very close. But a kill goes on to 369. Does that open up a tower killing opportunity? Well, I mean, on the other side of the map, Atakan's going to be taken by Top Esports. Wave clear coming in from the Draven. Can Braum stop it again? Yeah, he can actually. Stops on the first champion hit. Xiaohu teleporting to the top side of the map to collect a wave. Another, well, it's not an objective anti this time. Gold lead reduced to just under 6k. Atakan comes through. It's the GA version. So Cream going forwards. Of course, has the heart steal. Very tanky. Wants to maybe just get the stack. Oh, uses his ult too. God damn, it's a lot of work. Chris, does he want to throw his ult on him? Try and punish him as soon as that wears off. Not the longest cooldown, or not longest duration on that ult. Have the 6 scrubs, can walk up. Use those mites from everyone here. Everyone taking over that DOT from the grubs. Get them multiple games with Fearless. I kind of miss seeing multiple games of the same champion from players so I can build up an association of them. See their mastery on a pick. See if one game is an outlier. Sample size goes way down for them. Dragon's going to go. Weibo used this time to say, well, if you take the dragon, across the map again. Oh, great hook onto the Shin Zhao. Ult comes through from the Nautilus as well. Na'Vi, very tanky. Shin Zhao ult down. Dragon spawning, not dragon spawning, Baron spawning now. Tian without a flash, without an ult. Much harder for him to play the game. There is a ward behind enemy lines. I think 369 spotted this out earlier. I think he's going to clear this now. Yeah, I think there was a pick on the map, and indeed they go to get that. Make sure there's no flank angle. Now 369 has to... Wait, hang on. You were starting a fight in a 4v5. 4v4, rather. Breathe wasn't there either. Hung. Forced on by Cream. Chaos Storm comes through. It's not a bad shockwave. This is no damage before it. There's no damage behind it. The Counter-Strike's good too, but the Chaos Storm goes absolutely mental. Jaculov goes forwards, the axes come through, and I think Top Esports may have just put their finishing touches on this game. Where do you go towards Baron? Yeah, go towards Baron. Why not? Only Breathe left alive to tell a tale. Chris traded his life for the 4 for 1. Okay, Chris doesn't have the flash now, and he's going up a little bit alone. Nautilus ult hits onto him. That'll be a free kill. Push spray from Weibo works out. Does that really lead to that much for the team? Green for wave clear. That's not really what they wanted to do. Bradfield comes through. Ult comes through. Hang on, that's in a 1v4 situation. Ult goes on to the team from Kanavi. This is a 2v4. Tien pops his ultimate. Chaos Storm's now down. They use the Brawl Mob, but look how powerful this Victor is. 2-0-7. Rod of Ages Leandri's light jumps forward with the Valkyrie. I am not so sure about that one. Cream doesn't have flash. Kanavi doesn't either, but he is very, very tanky. Shockwave comes through, and Top Esports have kind of gone about the map a little bit too much. Well, all that's happening. 369 is killing an inhibitor. Weibo don't have the troops to answer everywhere. They do get good punishes onto Crisp and to Kanavi, but that is an inhibitor down. Goldley still increasing for Top Esports throughout this Baron buff. Jackalope can walk up, teleport onto the map now. Is that Q hitting us? Wondering if they'd even pull it there. Trying to wave clear. He has 6 scrubs. Even single auto attacks on the tower become a problem. Cream is so tanky and has his Q shields that feels pretty bad to go towards 2. Shockwave threat is just not there. Cream can walk up, sees the ball, says, okay, press your R button. Don't think it matters. Has a Zhonya's too if things get too hairy. 10 stack Dark Steel. Breathe is on the top side of the map. Breathe will go to answer. He has teleport, so does Breathe. Hook misses. Ult misses too. Close. Pixels off the backside of that rocket ship Corki. Astronaut. Dragon up in 5 seconds. Will be Hextech Soul for Top Esports. Weibo. I mean, you gotta pray for a miracle. Level 16 on Jax. Doesn't feel like he's really beating out the Renekton. Cream gets good poke from that E. Yeah, it's pretty nice. Breathe, walking his way down to the plate. How much more poke can come through that grab field? Kind of nice. Cream walks up, and there's your Hextech Soul. Oh, it is disastrous. Chaos Storm comes through. That'll be a reset. Yes, the Shockwave comes through, but it's going to be a reset on the Chaos Storm. Even more damage. That's 3. There's the 4th one coming through. Double kill for Kanavi. Chaos Storm increased in size one more time. That Storm is continental. Top Esports. This one was pretty done from start to finish. 14-6 on the scoreboard. Hextech Soul. Only Tian left alive, and he can't defend against the 6 grubs of Top Esports walking towards them. Top Esports, they kind of threw that last game a little bit. Drags it out. Top Esports will win the series sooner rather than later, though. Well, later rather than sooner, I suppose, with that being the context. Weibo shows some poor fights. Top Esports goes slightly better. Nexus will go down for their first, their second series in the Ascension stage to go 2-0.